I believe it is time for us to change how we do photography in church. Every Sunday in churches across Kenya, across Africa, across the world, media teams with amazing equipment are documenting what is happening within the churches. We've been doing this for the last 20 or so years. I remember I shot my first church images in 2007. And it's been an amazing evangelism tool. I mean, through these images, people have come to church because they've seen people who look like them in church. After all these years, after almost 2 decades of telling the story of people within the church, the building, I feel it is time for us to change that focus and start telling the story of people outside the 4 walls of the church. We all agree that church doesn't happen on Sunday. Sunday is garage time. That's why it's called service. And church actually happens the moment you leave the building that is a church. Let me give you an example. For sports, let's say for motorsport, which is something that I'm passionate about, photos of cars being serviced and mechanics working on them are good. But what people want to see is the cars performing in the rally stages. Photos of players and athletes out in the field is what excites us. It's what we want to see. Fine, they've done the training, but what are they like after this training? And that is what we do not have of ourselves. Consider the Bible also, because that's the book upon which our faith is founded. We have very little recorded about Christ meeting with his disciples. There are times when Christ pulled his disciples aside and they spoke and they sought explanation about different parables that he told, sought explanations about different things that were happening in his ministry. But you find that in a majority of the Gospels and the majority of the stories that have been shared in the Gospels is Christ going out to actually impact the world, to share the love of God, to transform people's lives, to perform miracles, to feed people, to heal the sick. And those are the stories we cling on to each and every day. The stories of impact, the stories of him going out. So based on what I read in the Bible, I think it's time for us to now shift our focus to not what is happening within the 4 walls of the church on Sunday. And it's good for us to continue documenting it. Very important. Maybe it's time for us to now change our focus or to include within our focus range this amazing congregation that you have. How are they living their lives? What are the nice, interesting impact stories that are actually there that would actually inspire somebody who is like them? Show the kind of impact teachers, nurses, doctors, engineers, creatives, musicians, architects are actually having outside the church. Because that is what the world needs to see. People are playing their faith from Sunday, or let's say from Monday to Saturday. I think that is where storytelling in the church needs to move to. After 20 years of focusing on what is happening within the 4 walls, let's start telling stories about what is happening outside the 4 walls. Because that is what the Bible is full of. And as it continues forming the foundation of our faith, let it also form the foundation of our storytelling as a church. Until the next one, thank you for watching.